Hey everyone, welcome back to the gardening channel. I am here going to show you a couple things that we have getting ready to go to seed. I have some purple carrots here. It's been getting hot here in the greater Phoenix area, and so it's actually taken these carrots a little while to go to seed, and I think it's because they're on the east side. They don't get hit with as much of the hot late afternoon sun, and with that being said, I think that makes them hold on a little longer. But anyhow, these are cosmic purple carrots, and there's a few left. I've left a few in the garden. I've harvested most of the others, but you can see here you get a big, what they call a big umbel of little tiny little flowers. Of course, now the wind is going to pick up, but anyhow, tiny little flowers in there, and they will eventually turn into a lot of seeds, and you might be able to tell the carrot seeds end up with a bunch of tiny little hairs all around them. So this one maybe, oh, that one is closing up after it's already went to seed, or at least I mean flowered and going to be making more seeds. So anyhow, these will they'll eventually turn brown, and those tiny little seeds will get, let's see here if I can show you, those tiny little seeds will get brown, and then they'll dry, and then you can take them off and dry them out the rest of the way, and put them up and plant them the next year. The other thing I have going on is this whole bed is a bunch of volunteer Utah tall celery, which is also an heirloom. So when heirlooms go to seed, and with celery seed being so tiny, it is definitely one of those things that you can end up with a bed with lots of celery. And so I kind of let it go here. But that is a tall celery, probably 6 foot tall there. And you can probably see, the celery there. But a lot of the smaller ones are, you can see they're not as big as store celery, but they're definitely still very good for salads and stir fries and things like that. But what happens when they go to seed, this is a good example. So you will get, let's see here, you will get a lot of tiny little seeds, and of course the wind can scatter them. These are, let's see here, probably almost harvestable. They're not quite dry enough yet, but they're pretty tiny, and once they get kind of a dark brown, well, there's probably some right here that I think these are probably harvestable. You see, these are very dark brown. So the ones that are really dark brown, those are drying out and can be harvested. So obviously with fine little seed like that, you got to be real careful, have a little bucket or something underneath, and usually I just kind of twist them off with my fingers, and they fall into the bucket. They're very fine. So that's what it looks like when they're going to seed. Now this one here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's not quite as far along as the one we were looking at a minute ago. So some of these flowers have just bloomed and haven't quite turned into seed yet. So there's a few different stages here of the celery. This always happens with celery and a lot of times with carrots. Stuff with fine seeds, you get a lot of volunteer plants coming up a lot of places, but I guess I look at it like it's heirloom stuff, it's good quality stuff. I didn't have any, well, I had a few other things in this bed, and I guess I let some of the celery choke it out, but probably didn't need anywhere near that much celery. But here in the Phoenix area, sometimes when something's growing very well, sometimes you just leave it alone. And these beds are on the east side of my house, so they get more morning sun, and by early afternoon they start getting shaded. So that tends to help a lot of things from getting baked by that really hot mid to late afternoon sun. So anyhow, but I've let some things get a little bit weedy and stuff because I'll be tilling some beds soon. I've got some volunteer tomatoes that popped up over here, but I've also got some more carrots here too that are going to seed, along with a nice strawberry patch that is still producing. We are in the middle of July right now as I'm filming this. So for being able to produce some strawberries in the summertime here is pretty unheard of, but this patch of strawberries has really taken hold, and it's got a shade cloth over it, and it really seems to like it here. And I mean, it's still got a lot of blooms going on, so it's not just a random strawberry or so. We're definitely getting some blooms still, so that's kind of exciting too. But that is, I guess, what I'm gonna share at the moment, and thanks for watching my gardening channel, and we'll sign it off there. And if you have any comments, you can let us know.